land a higher paying job in 30 days or less. I'm going to offer you a very different perspective today that's going to help you to stop getting hiring managers to reject you. There's so many of you who reach out to me on a daily basis. You're frustrated and you don't understand why hiring managers keep telling you no when you apply jobs. You apply yesterday, you get up this morning and you have 5 or 10 rejections, and no one has even spoken to you. They haven't called you, they haven't talked to you, they haven't they don't understand your unique perspective. And but there's a reason why it's happening. I'm going to tell you that. And my hope is I'm going to help you to think about things a little differently, because I have one goal in mind, right? I want you to get more job interviews. And if you get more job interviews, I am confident that if you interview the way I'm going to tell you today, that you're going to get more job offers. And you got to understand that process, right? So if I skipped over applying the jobs, if you have the right resume, right, and you get an interview and you answer the questions the way the hiring manager is looking for you to answer those questions, you will get a job offer almost every single time. It's not about if you're 5'2" or 6'9" or that none of that matters. The hiring managers are looking for one thing specifically, right? When it comes to you. And I'm going to tell you what that one thing is. I'm going to offer you a perspective that I think will shift your thinking and cause you to say, oh, that's why I keep getting rejected. Because there's a reason why, right? Now, I often tell you that there are 3 things hiring managers are looking for. And those 3 things lead them to this one thing I'm going to tell you about today. Now, I am going to be doing resume reviews today as well. So if you want me to review your resume, you can email it to me. My email address is above my head, and I'm going to put it in the chat over here on Instagram as well. I'm going to pin it in the chat. So if you want me to review your resume, I'll be happy to do that. But I want to give you a perspective that's going to change everything for you. If you are someone who you've been applying to jobs, and I don't care if it's within the last week, the last year, you are working, and you want to get out of where you are, you want to change your situation, and you just want to get more attraction to your resume, um, I'm going to tell you what you have to do, because most people they don't do this. You're looking at your resume wrong. Okay, now if this is your first time joining me for a live and you don't know anything about me, I have been in talent acquisition and recruiting as a leader, VP, C-level, COO in a staffing agency, and and a director for some of the largest customer service call centers, tech companies, hospitals in the entire country. Right? I hire 4,000 to 6,000 people every single year for the companies that I work with, and I don't work with companies who say I only need to hire 50 people a year. I'm not your guy. I design the entire hire life cycle. So from the moment a hiring manager says, I need to hire someone, I get them the job description and the pay range they need to work within. Obviously, once they give me their approval, I walk them through the entire hire process and provide them with the interview questions they ask you. I'm the one that does that. Now, the reason why I do that is because we need to make sure things are fair and equitable. They're asking everyone the same questions so we can compare apples to apples. I'm the one that pre-screens you. Me or someone on my team will do the pre-screen, and I'm the one that makes the decision about whether you're going to move forward to the hiring manager or not. Me, right? And then I position you, when I send you to the hiring manager, I position you as the solution to meet their needs. So they say, yes, I want to interview this person. And then if you follow my instructions in terms of interviews, I'm the one that the hiring manager tells, yes, they want to make you an offer. And I'm the one that creates the offer. Me, I write it and I send it to you so you can e-sign. Once you e-sign that document, I'm the one that manages the entire background check process, criminal background check and drug test. I'm the one that works with the vendors to do that in every company that I work for. And then once you have cleared everything, background check, got your application, everything done, I move you over in the HRIS system so we can complete your onboarding. And when you start on day one, usually I'm the person or someone on my team will do your new hire orientation and then walk you to the hiring manager. I don't own one part of the process. I own the whole process. I design all of it. So I'm the person you have to go through to get hired in almost every company that you're applying to. Yep. And I'm a hiring manager too, obviously, because I have a team of individuals. So I'm going to tell you what hiring managers are looking for that they don't see. Now, as a recruiter who has reviewed more than 750,000 resumes in my 36-year career, I know how to look at a resume really quickly. Even if it's not a good resume, hiring managers don't. So I never ever submit a candidate's resume to a hiring manager unless I do what I'm about to share with you right now. Okay. So I want to make sure that I'm tracking. Are you someone who is applying to jobs and you are not getting hiring managers to call you back? If that is you, because I want to make sure I'm tracking correctly, type yes in the chat. Yeah, I'm submitting my resume and nobody's calling me back and I don't know why. Okay. Hi Kathy, how you doing? Yeah, I'm applying to jobs. No one's calling me back. And they're not even calling me to tell me why they're not calling me back. Okay. So I'm gonna try to do this same live, at least share this information several times a week because I want as many people as possible to give it. So Christy says, nobody's calling me back and I have a doctorate degree. Now, Christy, I'm glad you said that because I want to help you understand something. Your doctorate degree doesn't matter that much to people. Not initially. Not initially. It doesn't. I'm going to explain to you why, even with a PhD, a doctorate degree, you are getting rejected. They're telling you no, right? I'm going to explain it to you. So, this is the perspective I want to offer to you. So, I want you guys to really just take a moment. I'll be done in 60 minutes because I have a meeting I have to get to. But I want you guys to understand this perspective. I want you to reframe your thinking around your resume. Please, I'm begging you, please do it. Okay? Reframe your thinking around your resume. I'm going to tell you what your resume is not, and then I'm going to tell you what your resume is. Now, the reason why I harp on this so much because this is how you get into the door of any company. You have to apply to the job first. Okay? And if you don't know anyone, and then you have to go through the apply process, which leads to the interview. But the hiring manager is the catcher. Okay, they have to see what they want to see. So, what is your resume? What does your resume currently look like now, and what it shouldn't look like? Okay, most people think their resume is their biography, their professional biography. Okay, it's a record of what you've done, the history of your work. Be honest. If that's what you think your resume is, then type correct in the chat. Again, I just want to make sure I'm tracking. You think that your resume is a history of your work experience, education, and background, and that's what you're supposed to be using to apply to a job. If you think that that's the case, type correct in the chat. Okay. I see people typing correct in the chat on many of the platforms. Okay. All right. I want to offer you a different perspective. Your resume is not a biography. Okay. I want you to change your thinking. What your resume is, it's a marketing document. Now, stick with me here. Okay. Your resume, it's not supposed to just tell hiring managers about your skill, experience, education, and background. That's not the purpose of it. Your resume has one job, one job, and that is to get hiring managers to want to interview you. Okay, that's the whole purpose behind your resume. So a biography tells a hiring manager everything about you. That's what a biography, that's the purpose of it, right? And that's how most people position their resume. But a marketing and advertising document only tells the hiring manager what you actually can do for them, what you sell. Okay? So I'll give you an example. I have recruited for 36 years, but I'm a recruiter who can hire 4,000 people for you right now if you need it, right? So I lead with, if you need 4 to 6,000 people hired, I'm the guy. Have I done that in the past? Yes, but I don't talk about it from that perspective. I say, if you need to hire 4 to 6,000 people, I'm the person who can hire 4 to 6,000 people. I don't talk about anything other than the benefit I can provide for the hiring manager. And this is what's missing on a lot of people's resume. They talk about the features of their career, but they fail to mention the benefit that provides for the hiring manager. Your resume is jacked up, and that's why hiring managers don't call you. So I want you to think about Nike, right? Nike as a shoe company. Imagine Nike's advertisement was, we have a shoe. It's made of rubber. It has laces to cover your feet, right? Imagine that's what Nike said, right? Would you buy that shoe? Right? Would you, like, you're like, well, there are a lot of shoes that have rubber, and that have laces and that cover my feet. What makes you so different, and why should I buy you, Nike? See, they don't advertise their shoe like that. Okay? Nike advertises its shoe in a different way. Nike shows you how you, and all good products do this. They show you how you are going to benefit by getting what they have. Listen to me. That shit, I'm hoping this is going to completely change your thinking about how you reposition your resume. Nike shows us how by purchasing their shoe, we're going to run faster, be better, and become winners. Nike doesn't talk about the rubber, the laces. It doesn't talk about that. It tells me I play golf, okay? And Nike tells me if I wear their shoe, I'm going to be a better golfer. You understand? That's what Nike tells me. If I wear their shoe, I will become a better golfer. So, if I want to become a better golfer, I buy their shoe. So, this is what I tell hiring managers. If you want to eliminate your hiring problem, hire me. I will eliminate all of your hiring problems. You'll never have to worry about whether you have enough candidates. You'll never have to worry about if the quality of the candidate is what you want. You'll never have to worry about if the people that I'm going to hire to you are unstable and going to quit. You'll never have to worry about those things ever. If you hire me, I am going to eliminate this problem for you. Now, I want to stop here for a second because I want you to understand where I'm coming from. If I were to ask you right now, and I'm going to have you write it in the chat, what problem do you solve for a company with what you do? What would your answer be? You would say, I help a company do what? Type it in the chat. For me, I help a company to eliminate their hiring problem. You hire me, you never have a hiring problem again. The moment I'm not there, you are going to have more hiring problems. So, what problem do you solve for a company? Type it in the chat. What is that thing that you do? I solve finance problems, customer service problems, revenue generation problems. If you're a salesperson, you would say, if you hire me, you will never ever have to worry about whether the company's going to generate enough revenue. Listen to what I'm telling you, please. Kathy says training. If you hire me, you will never have to worry about whether the staff is well trained. Ever. Now, Cubia says, if you hire me, you never have to worry about whether the company is going to increase profits, make more money. Keith says, if you hire me, I'm going to help you reduce risk and churn by 19%. Right? What's my point? We're spending our time telling hiring managers about our history and what we have done. And we're not spending our time telling hiring managers about our ability to help them do what they want to do now. We have to become like Nike and all of the other great brands. Nike doesn't talk about the makeup of their shoe, they talk about what their shoe can do for you. Please hear me. You are getting rejected because hiring managers do not know what you can do for them because your resume doesn't tell them that. You didn't create a resume that shows a hiring manager what they are going to get. I want to scream this at the top of my voice so the entire universe can hear it. But that's your number one problem. Okay? Scurly O says, if you hire me, you'll never have to worry about the culture of the company. Okay? This is how your resume should be written. And it's the first thing every hiring manager looks for. And if they don't see it, you get rejected. This is your big problem. Everybody's like, oh, I have to have the right keywords. So AI, that's wrong. That's not that it doesn't, we don't work like that. Okay. It doesn't. I'm the guy that manages one of the largest applicant tracking systems on the planet. If you set up a grading system in your applicant tracking system, it's too restrictive. It's too restrictive. We are weeding good candidates out and passing them by because we're too lazy to read a person's resume, right? So Kathy says, is this something that should be included in the summary? Stop thinking about your summary in the way that you're thinking about it, right? People try to summarize themselves in a paragraph. I'm gonna do live resume reviews this morning. So I'm gonna take my iPad Pro, and if you want me to review your resume, I'm gonna review your resume, and I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. Because so many people, they write these summary statements. Listen to me. You write a summary statement. Nike doesn't write a summary statement. Nike tells you, if you want to win, if you want to have a shoe that is going to help you to jump higher, run faster, go longer, if that's what you want, buy my shoe, buy me. That's what Nike said. It doesn't give you a summary. It's not a summary statement. Okay? So I want you guys to stop thinking about it from that perspective. That may be the way you did it before, but I want you to change the way you think. As a recruiter, what I am looking for is a solution to the hiring manager's problem. I ask the hiring manager, what do you want from this person? Like, what do you want this person to do? I don't ask, and then I'll say, well, what do they have to do that for you? But the what you do is the thing they want to know. I don't. What is the difference between Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, and some of these other shoes? Why do people? Why? What is the? They're all made of rubber. They all have laces. They all cover your feet. What is the difference between one or the other? You believe the promise of one shoe over another one. Why would you buy a Gucci bag and not a Walmart bag? Because you believe the promise that the Gucci bag is going to elevate your status. It's not the bag. Are you listening to me? It's not you. Why do you get an additional? Why do you go to college and get a PhD or a master's degree? The college promises you, if you get a degree, it is going to elevate your ability to be a solution to the problem of hiring managers and companies. So having the PhD is not the end of the road. Showing how the PhD helps a hiring manager to solve their problem is the answer. And so many clients that I work with on my fast track program, when they come to us, this is what they understand. And by the time they're done and they're starting to get results in 30 days or less, they realize, oh, this is what I've been doing the whole time. Stop thinking about your skill as something you've done. And I want you to think about it from the perspective of this is what my skill set can do for you. You understand? I really want you guys to understand. I'm trying to drive this point home because I want you guys to understand it. So, where does that all begin? It starts with your resume. First, your resume is your advertisement. You use your resume to market yourself through the application process to hiring managers. And you are marketing yourself in a way to show them how you can help them win, how you can help them whatever, right? When I hire people for my company, okay, one of the things I need is I need more time to spend with you, talking to you, working with you. So all of the background things are a challenge for me. So I hire someone who will help me to free up more time. Okay. I only have, there's only 24 hours in a day, and we serve clients. We reach we reach people in 135 countries. We have clients in 32 countries. We do hundreds of resumes a month. I do thousands of reviews a month, right? Coaching calls, fast track. I don't have the bandwidth to do it all. So I need someone to take some of the function, the administrative work off my plate so I can be freed up to have more time. That's the solution I'm looking for. I don't care about anything other than that, right? Nobody does. Like the company that you work at right now, they only care about what you can do to help them succeed. That's why companies will hire you if it says on the job description a bachelor's degree is required. They will hire you even if you don't have a bachelor's degree if they see that your experience can help them to solve their problem. Is that a surprise to you? Like you go to a job description and you see bachelor's degree required and you won't even apply because you think it's a requirement. It's not. Okay? It's not. Okay, if this makes sense to you, because I want to make sure I'm tracking before I move on to the next thing, just type in the chat. I got it. I understand. You have to be the solution. Show hiring managers that you're the solution. Again, the way Nike does it, Nike doesn't say our shoe is made of plastic, it has laces and covers your feet. That's not what Nike says. Nike says our shoe will help you win. They will help you go further. They will help you jump higher. They will help you move faster. That's what Nike says. I want you to start thinking about yourself like you are Nike. So, let's try it. It may take some time, but let's try it. I want you to type into the chat 3 benefits people get when they hire you. One is going to be time related. I'm going to save you time. I'm going to save you money. That's money. And I'm going to help you do what? Okay. Try to think about 3 benefits that you offer to a company with your skill set. Type it in the chat right now. This is important and a very important exercise. And I know this is a different kind of a live, but this is a very important exercise. I want you to think about this because if you can't articulate this, you're not going to be able to communicate it on a resume document. And if you can't communicate it on a resume document, a hiring manager is not going to pick you, and the rejections are going to continue to come over and over and over again. What are the 3 things that you do as a benefit? Has to relate to saving. These are the 3 areas. You either saving a company time, money, and you're providing some sort of expertise to solve some kind of problem. Okay? So, Angel says the three things that a company gets when they hire me is sales, revenue growth, performance management, and organizational transformation. Angel, virtual high five to you. Yes, that's it. I, through sales, you're going to grow your revenue. And because your revenue is growing, it's going to improve overall company performance. And because your overall company performance is improving, it's going to transform the entire organization. Rachel, Angel, you got me fired up. Yes, that's the key. Guys, please take a moment, write it in the chat. Yaya says, no, Nay says, let me go back to this one. Kathy, this is still a little vague. You provide dependability, strategy, and alignment to what? Like, how does that help a company make money, save money, or get whatever it is they need to get done? Access says, I ensure company compliance. I solve their, I'm sure, compliance problems, and I help them create new resources for company growth. Okay, very good. Nay says, I help a company to save time, increase profit, and reduce conflict. Okay? Yes, that's what you do. Yaya says, I help a company with accountability, performance management, and strategic planning. You understand? I help companies to save money, recruit more candidates, hire quality candidates faster than anybody else on the planet. I can help them hire more people faster for less money that are more qualified. You understand? You got to be like Nike. Why do you choose Nike? Because what Nike can do for you. Why do you choose this brand? Because of what that brand can do for you specifically. I don't buy Gucci, not because Gucci's not good, but I don't need to elevate my status. That's not what I'm interested in, right? Now, when it comes to golf, there's a certain golf ball I play because that golf ball gives me what it is I want. You understand? It's a Callaway Warbird. That's what I play. You understand? That ball promises me and delivers on what it promises. More distance, better feel, right? You understand my point? I want you to start thinking about your resume differently. Okay? Because when I look at people's resumes, I can tell you I do not see the benefit I am going to get if I hire this person. So, if you are tired of being rejected when you apply to jobs, and what do I mean? You apply to 100 jobs and you only get 2-3 people reply. If you are tired, put in the chat, I'm over it. I'm over it. Tobiano says, territory enlargement in terms of more customers. But what does that lead to, Tobiano? Does it lead to more revenue, right? Does it lead to more profit? Tell me what that leads to. Your territory enlargement in terms of getting new customers, what does it lead to? I know that's what you do. Yes, revenue increase. So you got to say, I will increase your territory by getting you more customers, which increase revenue and make you more money. That's what you have. You understand what I just said, Tobiano? That's what you have to write. You have to create it just like I just said. People are writing, I'm over it. Yes, I want you to get so sick and tired of it that when a hiring manager rejects you, it makes you want to puke. Yes, get tired of it. And when you get tired of it and you start to reposition yourself and you start getting responses, guess who is in control then? You are. You are. You have to start advertising like Coach Daniel advertises. I'm unique, right? I let hiring managers know. I'm not being arrogant by saying this. This is my thinking. I don't say this out loud. you would be stupid not to hire me. Because the problem that I know you have, it'll take me months to solve it. You've been trying to solve it for years. I can solve it in months, right? The dumbest thing on this planet would be for you not to hire me. That's my attitude. It's not what I say, but that's my attitude. Now, how does that show on my resume? I show them the results they will get. Listen to me. This is a different shift. This is a different shift in your thinking. I show them the results they will get by hiring me, not the results I got for somebody else. You understand? That's the difference. I show hiring managers the results they will get by hiring me, not the results, just the results I got for someone else. Relevance. Relevance. And that's what's missing. Keith, execution that moves metrics, drives repeatability and scalability success, removes confusion by driving alignment. Right? Now, Keith, what does that lead to for the company? What do they get when you do that? Right? What do they get when you do that? More revenue. They can save time, more efficiency that leads to cost savings, a reduction in waste, whatever that is. There has to be an outcome that they're trying to get. Now, again, I want to keep this exercise going because I need you guys to understand what outcome, what benefit does a company get when they hire you? From me, is I eliminate the benefit they get is they will never have to worry about hiring ever again for the history of the company if I'm on the team. That's the benefit. And those eliminating that for them means they have improved performance in the organization, which drives revenue and makes the company more money to stay around a lot longer. What benefit does a company get? The ultimate benefit they get by hiring you. Type it in the chat. Type it in the chat. This is important. Type it in the chat. Tell me what the benefit is. The only people who are going to stick around on this live are people who are serious about going to the next level in their career and making more money in their career. Everyone else, you can keep on passing by, and I'm okay with that, right? I'm going to share this information with you until you get it. I'm going to pound it into your ears until you get it. Because this is why you're getting rejected. How do I know that? Because as a recruiter working in human resources, when I was not positioning you as the solution to meet the hiring manager's need, they were rejecting me too. They were telling me no about you. And I had the conversation with you. I talked to you. I know you can do the job. And they were telling me no. To the point I wanted to quit my job, right? But it wasn't until I had a conversation with hiring managers 28 years ago and a light bulb went off. Oh my goodness, they don't see what I'm saying on the person's resume. So I'm going to start changing people's resumes without telling them. And it changed everything. I started getting so many people hired. It's how I got promoted. I became the solution that the hiring managers wanted. And here's the funny thing, they don't know how to tell you that because they didn't know how to tell me. They just said, I don't see it. They should have said, this is what I want to see when you send me a resume. I want to know what this person, the problem they can solve for me now. This is the problem I have. This is where I'm hurting. They need to show me on their resume that they can help eliminate this pain for me right now. So employer retention, increasing revenue, production efficiency, that's the benefit. Yes. If employees stick around, they get a reduction in churn and turnover. If the employees are good, it'll increase revenue. And if they increase revenue and they continue to do that same thing over and over again, the production efficiency happens so they can make more money faster. Yes. Jenna says she reduced churn risk, increase customer satisfaction, and provide customer success scale. So Genescence, what outcome does that get for a company? Does it help them to save money? Does it help them to make more money? Does it help to improve product quality that leads to customers buying more, that makes a company more money? What outcome does it achieve for a company? This is important. This is important. Okay? People don't talk to you about it from that perspective, right? Kathy says, I provide revenue growth. I help the company to achieve its objectives and performance improvement. Kathy, I hear you, but what outcome does that lead to for a company? Does it help a company make money? Does it help a company save money? Does it help a company to grow? Does it help a company to improve efficiency that leads to cost savings or revenue generation? You understand, Kathy? You have to be very clear about the outcome. When you say, I help revenue growth achieve company objectives and performance, Nike says, I help you run faster, that's an outcome, jump higher, that's an outcome, and I help you to win, that's an outcome, right? That's an outcome. Gucci says, I help you to look good so when people see you, it elevates your status. Prada says, I help you to look good and feel good so it elevates your status, right? That's what it says. That's what the outcome you get. Okay? So you have to start thinking about it from that perspective. When you think about Jordans, right? People are not wearing Michael Jordan shoes today to play basketball. They're paying $200, $300, $400, $500 for a pair of Jordans to put on their feet. Why? Why do people wear Jordans? Somebody tell me in the chat. Why? If you have a pair of Jordans, why do you wear Jordans? You ain't playing no basketball in it. Why do people wear Jordans? Right? Status, right? Janice, status. You're purchasing that shoe because it gives you status. When people see you rocking Jordans, they're like, huh, that person must be whatever. Whatever the status is. Yes, that's the promise that Jordans make. Not that you're going to, like when Jordan was playing. So I want you to think about it from that perspective. Fashion, Nay says. Jordan, Keith says, people buy Jordan because of the name. What does the name Jordan, right? What does it mean? Jordan was a winner, fighter. He was the best, right? That's what people think about when they have Jordans on their feet. It makes me feel like a winner. It gives you status. You understand? Now, anybody know about this shoe, Hoka? I don't have a pair, but I see a lot of people wearing Hoka. Why? It's comfortable. You want to buy it, it's well made. It's comfortable. It doesn't look good. So people don't buy hookahs because they want to look good. They buy hookahs because they want to be comfortable. So the promise that hookah gives you is comfort, performance. You understand? Okay, I'm driving this point home because I want you guys to understand. So many people are missing this. It's not on your resume. I'm gonna review a couple of resumes real quick so I can help you guys understand what it is I'm saying. If you have a resume, you want me to review it, email it to me. It's daniel@dscds.com. I can only do 100 resumes. That's it. Daniel@dscds.com. This is what I know Keith is on, but this is what I share with people on my fast track program. Keith is on Instagram and he's on my fast track program. So the goal of the program is to get you in front of hiring managers. And Keith can attest to this. I prep every single person before every interview. We take care of your resume, your LinkedIn profile. We meet on a weekly basis. I'm your personal recruiting assistant. I'm going to hold your hand and walk you through the entire process. Okay. So if you're interested in knowing about the Fast Track program, you have to DM me the word Fast Track or email me the word Fast Track, and then I'll talk to you about what that looks like. All right. So I have my iPad Pro in front of me with my email pulled up, and you guys are sending your resumes in for me to review. I'm going to review your resume. So I can take another 90 people. I'll review your resume today if you want me to review your resume for free. But let me go through here. William H. I'm going to review your resume. William H. Okay. Now remember, okay, so I'm going to move your name and contact information out of the way, and I'm just going to show your resume the way a hiring manager would look at it if your name and information was gone. Okay. So Keith, now guys, I never mean to be disrespectful to anyone. I want to tell you guys the truth. Okay, I want to tell you exactly what's going on. Now, what's your name again? It is William Hunter. Okay, William, listen. Nobody's going to call you, William. No one is going to call you with this resume. They're not going to call you. I don't care how good you are. Now, why won't they call you? I don't even know what you do. Right? Now, I see what you put up top underneath your name that you're a software developer. So what? Nike is a shoe. What do you do? What outcome are you able to provide for someone? And the only way for me to find that out is I got to read through all of the stuff in your resume, and no hiring manager is going to do that. They're not going to do that. Your resume will be rejected. 98 out of 100 applications that you apply to, you're going to get rejections. I'm just telling you, we wouldn't pick you. Okay? So it's important that you understand that. The other thing that's a problem with your resume is, I'm saying this for the benefit of everyone who's watching as well. This resume would not parse into or upload into a applicant tracking system and auto-populate like it's supposed to. It won't do it because it doesn't recognize these two columns. You don't want to do that. Okay? So it needs to be simple formatting, so when it parses in an easy way. All right. So I'm going to do another one. If you want me to review your resume, just email it to me. I'll be happy to review it. Let me see here. Hendrix M. Hendrix M. Okay, I'm going to grab your resume. I'm going to remove your picture. Should we put our pictures on our resume? No. This is not a LinkedIn profile. I'm going to move your picture. You're from Cape Town, North Cape, South Africa. Again, your resume reads too much like a book. Nobody's going to call you. If you, I can tell you again. Remember what I said earlier about Nike. Nike tells you what you get when you purchase it. I don't know what I get if they hired you. So I don't know what you do. I don't know the outcome you're going to help us achieve. I have no idea. I'm going to tell you the three things every hiring manager wants to see the moment they pick up your resume. So your resume again. This is another resume. 98. If you apply to jobs 98 times, you're probably going to get one response. 100 times, I'm sorry, you're going to get one response. Okay. So what's your name? Who said he sent theirs? So Kathy. Let me see, Kathy. Let me see if I can find you. Is it Kathy or Katie or Kathy? Kathy, I don't see your resume, so I can't do yours. Let me see here. Lynette S. Linets. Lynette S. I'm gonna look at your resume real quick. All right. I'm going to remove your name and information. Same thing. Now, the formatting your resume is okay, but no, I don't know what you do. Like, there's no way for me to know what you do with this resume. Zero way. So you're going to get rejected. No one's going to call you because you're not answering the questions of a hiring manager. Okay? This is like saying somebody wants to go buy a shoe and all the box says is shoe. What kind of shoe is it? I'm looking for a sports shoe. What kind of shoe? What is it going to do for me? Right? So no one will call you. All right. So let me see here. Nicole J. Nicole J. All right. All right. So Nicole, yours is a little bit better, but slightly. Okay. So I'm gonna remove your name and information. Okay. So this is what I was talking about. I want you guys to look at something here. This summary at the top, that's a no-go. Nobody's reading that. Okay, we're not reading your summary, your professional summary, right? Nike doesn't give you a description of its shoe. It just tells you, hey, my name is Nike. I help you win, jump higher, run faster. That's what Nike says. Okay. So you need to say, hey, my name is Daniel. I've been talent acquisition recruiting for 36 years, and I'm going to help eliminate your hiring problem by hiring 4,000 to 6,000 people a year. You understand? That's what it should say. Yours, that's when I say to people, I don't know what you do. You are forcing me to read through your resume to try to figure that out. Nobody's going to read your job titles, right? And the other thing is Nike has a bunch of different types of shoes. Running shoes, fashion shoes, golf shoes, baseball shoes, basketball shoes, football shoes, a bunch of different things, right? What kind of shoe is it? You understand? Nobody's going to call you. I'm just telling you. Again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just trying to tell you guys exactly what's happening. So if you're experiencing this, I'm telling you why you're experiencing that. And if you don't change it, the same thing is going to continue to happen. It will not stop. It won't stop. It's not. It's not going to stop. All right. Diana M. Diana M. Okay, Diana M. All right. So I get very passionate about these things when I look at them because I want to help so many people. Nobody's going to call you Diana. Your resume won't parse into an applicant tracking system properly, and I don't know what you do. Now, if I read this, watch this. I'm gonna read your summary. Let me read it to you. I want you to listen to it, Miss Diana. It says you're a senior customer service and telesales professional with over 8 years of progressive experience in high volume call centers environments within financial services, telecommunications, and digital lending. You have a demonstrated ability to support teams, manage customer escalations, exceed performance targets, and ensure compliance with operational and regulatory standards. Known for strong communication skills, customer advocacy, fraud awareness, and leadership potential, actively seeking opportunities in senior customer service, team leadership, and customer operations roles. Okay, how's that gonna help me? Right? I'm just that's what here's what our manager's thinking. I see what you say you want. That's like you walking into a shoe store and saying, I want a Nike shoe. I want it to be a running shoe, right? Oh, you know, you walking into a shoe store and saying, hey, I want a shoe, right? I want it to be a running shoe, right? I want it to be a whatever. And the salesperson is gonna be like, well, what kind do you want? Like, what are you looking for? What are you looking for that shoe to do for you? Like, if you are a runner, are you a long distance runner? Are you a short distance runner? Are you using it just to work out? Like, what are you using a shoe for? I can't give you a shoe Just because you say you want a running shoe, if you're a sprinter, long distance shoes are different. Short distance shoes are different. Workout shoes are different. What do you want this shoe to do for you? Stop telling me that you're a shoe. Stop telling me that you're a customer service pro. What are you going to do for me? What would that look like? I'm going to answer 200 calls a day. I'm going to retain customers at a rate of 98%. I'm going to help improve revenue for the organization by making sure clients are retained. I'm going to reduce escalation calls or customer complaints or whatever. What do you do? Like, what do you do? Nobody knows. I don't know what you do. So whenever you hear me say, I don't know what you do when I look at your resume, that's what I mean. I don't know the problem you solve for me, or the hiring manager is saying that. So as a recruiter, let me give you guys a little secret, a little insight. Whenever I submit a candidate to a hiring manager, I have to tell them the solution you bring to the table. So somebody asked me the other day, hiring manager wants to know what I bring to the table. What do you bring to the table? This is what they mean. What are you going to do to help me solve my problem? Now, problems are, they come in just a couple of categories. How are you going to help me make more money, or help the company make more money? How are you going to help save the company money? That's the second thing. Companies are in business to make money. How are you going to help us save money? How are you going to help me save time? Okay, that's the third thing that they're interested in. And the fourth thing is, how are you going to take off my plate things that I'm not good at, but you're an expert at? Okay, how are you going to do that for me? Show, that's what you bring to the table. So my answer is, I'm going to take over the entire recruiting process. You never have to worry about candidates getting into our applicant tracking system, and you never have to worry about them applying properly. I'm going to take over the entire submittal process to the hiring managers. I'm going to pre-screen every single candidate, and the hiring managers will only see candidates that they want to talk to, that meet the expectation that they want, right? I'm going to make sure that the quality of the candidate that I hire are people who are going to stick around 2.5 to 3 years or more, because that's their current pattern and history of their employment. And those individuals are going to be top performers, which improve top end outcomes. So they're going to help the company save money if they're in a cost saving role, or they're going to help the company make money if they're in a revenue generation role. That's what you get when you hire me. And I'm going to do it in high volume. You want to hire 5,000 people? I got you. I had a company like 3 companies ago that I worked for, a pediatric urgent care clinic company. I interviewed with the CEO, and he didn't let me interview with my manager. So I interviewed with him, and I asked him, what's the issue? What is HR telling you is the problem? He says, well, HR is telling me that there aren't enough candidates for us to interview and hire. And I said, well, what are you looking for? He says, medical assistant. Now, I don't advise you do this. By the way, let me give you a secret. I was doing a Teams call. I was not on video. I was in a golf cart at my golf club playing golf on hole number 4 when I was doing this interview. Don't tell anybody that. Okay. I said to him, may I take a look at a tool that I use to see how many candidates are available in a few of the markets that you're talking about? He says, sure. I said, it'll only take me a couple seconds. So I went to LinkedIn and I did a quick search for medical assistants. I said, John, his name was John. I said, John, I'm looking at LinkedIn right now, and I'm telling you, there's 47,000 medical assistants in the market that we just talked about. Let me do this other market, which is a smaller market. I said, it's 17,000 in that market. He said, really? I said, yeah. I said, the problem that the HR department currently has is what I just showed you that took me 5 seconds to show you, they don't know how to do that. So now that I've shown that to you, the next thing needs to happen is we have to have an efficient way to get to these candidates. If we can get to all 17,000 candidates in this smaller market, Do you think we will have a problem hiring? He says, no. I said, what about the other market? He says, man, if you can get to all of those candidates, we won't have a problem. I said, okay, if I reached out to 1,000 a day in that larger market, it would take me 36 days to get to all of them. And I have a way to get to 1,000 a day. If you understood what I just said, how I proved to this CEO that I was a solution to their problem, just type in the chat, OMG, OMG, because I want to make sure I'm tracking. OMG. I told him how I could solve his problem in 15 seconds. Do you think they hired me? Of course, I said I used to work for them. They did hire me, and they paid me more than $10,000 over the max salary. Company had existed for 17 years and never had been fully staffed. It took me 5 months to do it. I got so much pushback from hiring managers. They were telling me, oh, we got enough candidates. Please don't send any more. Shut up. I'm gonna keep sending candidates to you. I want candidates to be falling out of your pockets. I want you to be smelling candidates when you go home. I want you to open your trunk and 15 candidates pop out your trunk. I'm gonna overwhelm you with candidates because that's been your problem. And I'm gonna show you how to fix it, right? Now, the hiring managers have what they want. They could be a little bit more picky. Retention happens. Company makes more money. You understand my point. Okay. You got to show hiring managers that you're okay. Let me do a couple more resume reviews. Email me your resume if you want me to review it. I can take another 80 people. If you want me to review your resume, I'll review it. Okay. So, Gary B. Gary B. So, Gary, I'm going to show you. Gary, you make a classic mistake for a person who is highly educated. First, I don't know what you do, Gary. Second, you're leading with your education. The question I ask people all the time is, how does your education relate to the problem that you're going to be able to solve for a company? Lead with your problem, support it with your education. Lead with the problem you solve, support it with your education. Okay? So your education should be further down. Now, it says you're a program director, a manager. You have a bachelor's degree in marketing and a master's in addiction counseling. But what do? And then you have listen to me, Gary. Your first job, which you've done since 2020 on your resume, has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 32 bullets. The max is like 5 to 8. This is way too much. You got to condense that. No one's going to read through this. No one. When you're creating the duties and responsibilities, I want you guys to listen to me. When you're creating the duties and responsibilities on your resume, I want you to create the duties and responsibilities related to the outcome you get, not the work you're doing, the outcome you get. So you should have 5 or 6 major things that you're doing as your duty. Listen. If you are generating revenue, like $50 million in revenue, you don't have to tell me that you're selling to generate 50 million. I already know you sell, right? That's sales. You understand? If you are managing $250 million in finance, I already know you in finance and accounting. You don't have to give every detail. Monitor design programs, oversee program development, serve as problematic liaison, ensure staff is trained, recommends and initiates change, ensure adequate staffing, assure assigned programs, supervise all programs, responds to both staff and clients, responsible for thorough and precise articulation of program philosophy, responsible for selection of employees. This is redundant. Listen, nobody's going to call you. They're not going to call you. You won't get a call. You'll be sitting at home by your dial-up, your rotary phone waiting for somebody to call you, they're not going to call you. I'm just trying to be funny, but nobody's going to call you. You understand? If you want me to review your resume, just email it to me. I'll take a look at it. I could take another 78 people. Okay, Angel. I've seen you a couple of times, but let me see. Angel. Now, Angel, you put down ATS executive resume, right? I'm going to remove your name and information. So now you're closer, Angel, but you're not quite there. You're almost. So this is a little better, and I'm going to tell you why it's a little better. It's still a little wonky and funky in terms of the formatting. Right now, Rachel, if I look at your resume, if I glance down at it, I don't know what you do. If I look at it for 5 seconds, I don't know what you do. I have to go through your resume and figure out what you do, and I still can't hardly even by the job titles, I can't tell what you do. But if I read your summary, this executive summary, you guys got to throw that in the trash can. Make it bullets. Okay? Says you're a strategic sales and customer operations leader with 10 years experience of driving high performance results, operational excellence, customer life growth, proven record of transforming underperforming divisions. Like, what do you transform? Transforming what? Transform it for what? $5 to $15? You understand? You're not mentioning any of that. So that would be like Nike saying, we are a premium running shoe that has rubber. Our sole is made of, rubber. Our laces are made of cotton. Our canvas is made of synthetic material. Our eyelets are made of plastic, right? That's what you're saying. Okay, I got it. You're telling me the structure of what you do, but what outcome are you able to achieve? Then I have to go to your career highlights, and it says you drove 35% productivity and growth and 18% increase in conversion by redesigning sales performance strategy for a 15-person team, delivered 1,200 to 1,300 monthly activations and $1.7 million in annual revenue while consistently exceeding quota, reduced onboarding time by 30% through structured training, built and scaled. That kind of stuff right there, that needs to be at the very top. Okay? All right, I want to make sure everybody understands what I'm talking about. If it makes sense to you, type in the chat, that makes sense. I want to make sure you understand it. If you want me to review your resume after this live, email it to me. I'm going to review a couple more in just a second. But what I want to do is I want to show you what a good resume should look like. Okay? Just kind of give you an idea. And hopefully, it'll make sense to you. Because if you don't understand what a good resume looks like, then it's going to be a challenge. So I have a resume here. I'm not going to mention the person's name. This is what it says: an event and technology executive, audiovisual and IT operations leader with 20 years experience driving $3.5 million in revenue and enterprise events performance. So that's right off the bat. I just learned what this person does. I've learned how long he does it, and I learned the outcome he's able to get. That's it. It took me 3 seconds to read that. Okay, so that's what your resume needs to be. How it needs to be front loaded. Now, how does he support that? Manage AV and IT operations, supporting a 41,000 square foot event space. Oversaw 3.5 million in revenue generating operations. Maintain 100% system uptime across complex integrated AV and IT environments. Blah 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 blah. So that when we create a resume for a person, again, I have no expectation that anybody use me, but when we create a resume for individuals, that is what we front loaded with. Now, how did I learn this? Many years ago, I was a call center, senior recruiter at a call center. And I was interviewing people, and I was submitting a resume to the hiring manager, and they kept telling me, no, Daniel, no, I don't. Give me more people. Close the position. Open a new one. Bring it back up to the top. No. I kept on getting this over and over again. Man, it used to be upset me. And so I went to my HR director and said, hey, let me show you the resumes I'm giving to these hiring managers. They're rejecting them. I don't know why. I don't think they like me. I didn't think they liked me as a person. And she said, nah, she was a short lady, 5'1", very short hair. She was like, I don't think that's the case, Daniel. Ask them again, what it is they're looking for. And I said, well, I told them what I was looking for. What are you talking about? Ask them again. I'm tired of asking them. So she said, just try it one more time. I did. So after sitting in a meeting with the hiring managers, I think it was about 3 or 4 of them, they were telling me over and over again. Finally, I said, wait a minute, what do you want to see? And they told me. A light bulb went off. Like I was like, oh. So I started looking at your resumes, the ones that I had given to them, because I had a pile of resumes they had rejected. And I was looking at the resumes and I was like, oh my goodness, that's not clear. What they're telling me, I understand. They didn't articulate it the way I'm articulating it to you. But this is what they were telling me 28 years ago. And so immediately that same day, I started changing people's resumes. I didn't tell them I was changing. And I don't even tell hiring managers today that I change people's resumes. Like I would change your resume and I would send it back to you and say, is this good? You would say, yes. I said, just read it because I'm going to go get you an interview. And then I would get you an interview and you could articulate that. I would tell you what to say in the interviews and then you would get hired. Recruiters don't do that nowadays. On my team, they do because I'm interested in the submission to hire ratio. So I'm going to prep you for every interview because I'm not interested in you leaving and not getting the job when I've spent my time and resources recruiting you and trying to get you. And my performance is based on the outcome that I can get from recruiting. My team's performance is based on that. When I worked for one of the largest customer service call center companies in the country, they had been around 35 years and had never been fully staffed in like 7 or 8 locations. Never been fully staffed. I started off working as a contractor, and after about 90 days, they said, we want to hire you full time. We want you to manage all recruiting, all locations. Every location had a hire deficit. I took care of the one in Texas, 2 in Texas first. Then I went to Utah. Then I went to Michigan. Then I went to Florida. I got the whole call center filled in about 9 months. I was with that company for 5 years. They had got a contract just based on the results that I had been getting. I got a call. I was on vacation. I got a call from my VP, Daniel. We're sitting in negotiations for a contract for 1,000 licensed insurance agents. Do you think you can get 1,000 licensed insurance agents hired in, I think it wasn't Tampa. It was Florida, somewhere in northern Florida. Can you get that many people hired? I said, well, can I give you a call back in like 5 minutes? She said, yes. I went to LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, and Indeed.com and did a Boolean search for licensed insurance agents in that market on all sites. And I saw there was 12,000 candidates in the database. 12,000. And I called her back and says, yep, if we get the contract, I can get 1,000 people hired. How fast can you do it? I said, well, that's going to depend on how many hiring managers you get to that city for me to, if they can all interview 5, 7, 8, 10 people a day, I can get it done pretty quickly. It took us 90 days to stand that call center up. For United Healthcare, they were doing licensed insurance for United Healthcare. Do you know what that contract was? I think it was a $47 million contract on a phone call. Daniel, you've been getting these outcomes for us. Can you get another outcome for us? That's what hiring managers want to know when they look at your resume. I didn't tell you that story to tell you anything other than that's what hiring managers want to know from you. What can you do for me? So if your resumes are not positioned that way, you're going to have problems. Now let's talk about applying for jobs. I want to just be honest with me, guys. Please, I want to know on average, how many jobs do you apply to per week? When you're looking for a job, if you're looking for a job right now, how many applications are you submitting on average in a week? Write it in the chat. 15 says Angel. How many applications are you applying to a week in 1 week? 7 days each week, 15 applications. Anybody else? 50. Okay, 20 CW, 5, 15 to 20, 3 a week, 25 a week, Sir Gary, 20 Kathy, 18 to 20, 10, 30. I see you guys are still with me here. I'm going to blow your mind. I'm going to blow your mind. I'm going to give you the number it should be. Oh my God, I'm scared to tell you guys because you're going to be like, what? You should be applying to 630 jobs every single week. 630. Type in the chat if you think that's possible. You're like, man, that's impossible. I'm going to show you how you can use 30 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day, and you can apply to 90 to 105 jobs every single day. Would that be valuable to you if I could show you that? I'm going to show you how to apply to 90 to 105 jobs every day, only taking 30 minutes of your time. You could do it first thing in the morning. Grab your coffee, your pre-workout, okay? And it's not about jobs that you like. I'm going to show you how to apply to jobs that pay you what you want, work where you want, doing exactly what you want to do. I'm going to tell you. Grab your coffee, 30 minutes in the morning. Get up early. You're going to apply to 105 jobs in 30 minutes, and you're going to go on about your day. Finish knitting that mitten for the cat. Finish putting together that tail chain for your dog, right? Go work out. Go watch a movie. Cut the grass. Build a shed out back. I'm going to show you how to do it. I tell the story every live. Ron just finished on our fast track program in March. Ron came to me and said, again, Keith is on the Instagram live. He's currently on fast track program. We're doing an interview prep tomorrow. So Ron came to us, Daniel, I'm struggling. There are no jobs out there for me. I'm a senior sales account manager. I've been doing this for 30 years. I think I'm being aged out. Can you help me? I said, yeah. What do you want? I need to get a job. My severance is running out. My unemployment insurance is running. My unemployment benefits are running out. I need help. There are no jobs out there. I said, okay, great. So Ron signed up for the fast track program. I think it's the last week of February. So I said, Ron, step one, I'm going to fix your resume because your resume is trash. I'm not being mean. I'm going to fix your resume. So I did. Said the next thing we're going to do is we're going to hop on a call. I'm going to have you walk through fixing your LinkedIn profile. We did that. Okay. I'm getting to the jobs right in just a second. So we fixed his LinkedIn profile. I said, now, every resume that you currently have that's not getting you interviews, you're going to delete it off of LinkedIn and you're going to upload this one that I just created for you. Got it? Great. I said, now, I'm only going to tell you how to do this on LinkedIn. You're going to then go do it on ZipRecruiter and Indeed.com the same way. All right. So now that we have his resume straight, now that we have his LinkedIn profile straight, because as recruiters, we sneak over to LinkedIn from time to time, and we're looking around just to see if the resume and the profile is the same. If it isn't, you're out, okay? So now that that is the same, I said, now I want you to show me how you search for jobs. I'm going to tell you right now what the deal is. I'm going to show you on my Mac, my iPad Pro, exactly what the deal is. So Ron started searching for a job. First thing Ron did, he went to the search bar and he typed in his job title. In the chat, be honest with me. If you start your search with your job title, type it in the chat. Yes, I do. That's what I do, Daniel, every time. I start my job search with my job title. That's what I start with. Now, if you've been on any one of my lives, your answer might be different, but most people, they start with their job title. Yeah, I just type in my job title and I start looking for jobs because that's what I want to do. Okay, great. All right. And then I said, don't touch another thing. Click search. Okay. So Ron typed in his job title, Senior Sales Account Manager. Search. 5,400 jobs came back. And then I said this to him. I said, hey, Ron, Guess what? Half of the jobs you're looking at right now, they're not open. He says, what are you talking about? Now, I bet you guys didn't know this. I said, you don't know this, but LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, and Indeed.com, they do not remove our open jobs or closed jobs. I'm sorry, they don't remove it from their site until 30 to 60 days after it has been closed in our career site and applicant tracking system. If that's a surprise to you, type OMG. OMG. And there's nothing we can do about it. I manage those accounts. So you're applying to jobs that are closed. They're not even open. And I'm going to show you how to find out. So you're not, I applied. Why nobody calling me back? Oh my God, they're not calling me back. I applied to that job. Why are they not calling me? This is what you do. Real simple. If you are serious about that company, let's say you're like everybody tells me, this is my dream company. I applied to that job. It's my dream company. But the job may be closed and you don't even know it. This is what you do. If you apply to that job and you're like, it's your dream company, here's what I want you to do. Go over to the company's career page and see if it's open over there. If it's closed, you just applied to a closed position on LinkedIn. And no one's going to call you. By the way, your resume never even got into the applicant tracking system. I manage the applicant tracking system, so any resumes or applications that come to us through LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, Indeed.com for a closed application, number one, you're going to get a rejection letter. We decided to go with another candidate. I can find you if I go back to LinkedIn. If I go back to LinkedIn and look at the jobs that they posted under our company name, I may be able to find your application there, but nobody's looking. We're not going back. If we close the position, that means we've already filled that it's done. Nobody's calling you. That's it. That's how it is. I'm not going to call you. And then sometimes we will close the requisition. Hiring managers say, we need more candidates. Can you close it so we can bring our requisition back up to the top? If we close that position and reopen a new one, your application could be sitting on the old job description. And if you apply to the new one, it sits on that one too. That's how it works, guys. Okay. You don't apply via the company's website. I'm going to explain to you why in just a second. Never do that. You're wasting your time. Okay. When I say time, I'm talking about the amount of time it takes you to actually fill out an application. Let me tell you a recruiter expert tip. The average long application takes 42 minutes to complete. 42. The way I'm going to show you, you will be able to complete an application in 21 seconds. And I'm going to tell you why. It's because when you do what I'm going to tell you, instead of all of your information being uploaded and you have to complete all of your information and then get your resume submitted, your resume gets submitted in 21 seconds or less. How are we making a determination? Not based on your application. We're making a determination based on your resume. So you want to be able to get your resume to us as fast as possible. I'm about to tell you how to do that. So Ron typed in his full job title, 5,400 results. I told him all of those jobs are not open. You got to filter by when the jobs were posted. He says, what was that? What do you do there? I said, type in or put in jobs that have been posted within the last 30 days. There's a great likelihood that those jobs are still open. He did that. It went from 5,400 down to 2,000. And then we put in all the other filters like his career level, pay, and everything else. And then we did easy apply. It went from 5,400 where he started down to 18 jobs. So Ron had 18 jobs to pick from. And I said, is this how you've been searching? He said, yes. I said, man, you're never going to find a job. So all of you who are telling me, I apply to 3 jobs a week, 15 jobs a week, 5 jobs a week, 50 jobs a week, you are not going to find a job. Remember, you're marketing yourself through the apply process. So this is what you have to do. I'm going to prove it to you right now. So I told Ron, let me tell you how you're supposed to search. You're supposed to search by you use one word in the search area. And it is the main function of your job. So if Ron, help me out in the chat, guys. If Ron is a senior sales account manager, what is the single word function of Ron's job? Somebody type it in the chat. What is the single word function? I'm almost done. Sales. That's right. You guys are smart. Sales. So we started his search with sales only. He put in the title. I only put sales. He came up with 5,400 jobs. Let me tell you how many I came up with. I want to show you. You can do this right now yourself. $444,873 jobs. You see it? He says, how did you do that? I say, Ron, you never, ever search by your whole job title. You're telling the job board to only find jobs that have that in the job title description. It doesn't work. That's not how you search. That's not how recruiters search for you. As a recruiter, when I search for you, I only put in the single word function of your skill. That's it. So I'm going to do that for you right now. I'm going to tell you how many jobs are open on LinkedIn right now under your skill set. Put in the single word function of your job skill right now. The single word, just type it in. What is your single word for your skill? Okay. So contracts. Okay. Contracts. 7,132 jobs. 7,132 jobs. Contracts. Director. Director. 104,853 jobs. So you put training. I'm going to put trainer. 24,345 jobs. Operations. Operations. 66,924 jobs. Okay. Lender. 5,360 jobs. Project management. When I do project management, I only do project and then I'll sort it out by that. Project is 81,458 jobs. And then I can show you how to do manager from there. Crane operator, 5,470 jobs. Regulatory, 34,976 jobs. Okay. Yeah, somebody says, does it reply? This is all jobs. And then you can sort it by remote, hybrid, or on-site. Mechanic, 20,071 jobs. You see my point? If I made my point, type in point made in the chat. You have to start with a single word, not multiple words in the search bar. Okay. Rigging. Somebody is a rigger. 14,381 jobs. On the Fast Track program, this is what I show clients. I tell them this is how you do it. That's why they can get jobs in 22 to 28 days if they follow the process. This is not theory. This is what we do every single week. And that's why I can only take so many people. What platform am I using? What are you asking me? Which job board? Is that what you're asking me? This works on every job board. I'm using LinkedIn, but you can do the same thing on Indeed and ZipRecruiter. Same thing. It's the exact same thing. They're all the same. Okay. The difference is 65% of all jobs are posted on Indeed, on LinkedIn, and the other 35%, for the most part, are posted on ZipRecruiter and Indeed.com. LinkedIn is the biggest job board on the planet. It used to be Indeed. And before that, it was ZipRecruiter. Before that was Career Builder. Before that was Monster. I've been working with job boards since the mid-2000s. Okay? So that's how you search for jobs. Now I'm going to give you I'm going to tell you why you need to do. So here's what you do. So you're going to filter by the job single word title. Then you're going to filter by the second thing is when the job was posted, 30 days or less. Then you're going to filter by your experience level, director, mid-level, entry-level, whatever, C-level executive, right? You can sort by salary, but only 10% of us put in salary. Then you're going to click on remote, hybrid, or on-site. And then you're going to go and click on easy apply. I need to make sure you're tracking because I'm about to share something with you. Then you're going to click on easy apply. Type in easy apply if you heard what I just said. Easy apply. Easy apply. Easy. Easy apply. Somebody says, Jen says, I'm on the fast. Jennifer, how you doing? I'm on the fast track program, and my resume has already been downloaded 3 times since Wednesday. Today is Saturday. Yes. Easy apply. That's how it works. Okay. Okay. So why do you want to do easy apply? Listen to me, please. Nobody tells you this. It's sad. I don't know that anybody else. I see this anywhere else on the internet. They may tell you, do your resume, do this. Then they don't tell you this stuff because most of them are not recruiters, and they may be in HR or something, but they're not recruiters. Check this out. When you apply via the full application, this is what happens. Please just grab a cup of water, and I want you to listen to me for 10 seconds. When you go to the company's website and you apply to a job via the career page, this is what happens. You have to type in all of your information. You might do copy paste, but you type in all of your information. You're doing all of this typing. You're filling in everything out. You're checking all of the boxes. You're filling it out and everything else. And then at the end, it says, upload your resume. And then you click submit. And it sends that whole package over to the applicant tracking system. That's what happens. Okay. When your when your application comes over, don't get mad at me, please. Don't get pissed off. When your resume comes, your application packet comes over via the company's career site, what do we as recruiters do? We pull up your resume. That's what we do. We don't look at your application. We pull up your resume. Okay? Stick with me. So you spent 40 minutes filling out that application to upload your resume, and the only thing we really want to make a determination is your resume. Okay? So that's why I tell people, don't do the long application. You're wasting your freaking time. Instead, do easy apply. Now, how does easy apply work? How does quick apply work? One click apply depending on the platform. This is how it works. And we set this up for every job in the back end of our applicant tracking system. Okay, watch this. This is what happens. This is the difference, guys. I got to hop off in a minute because I got a meeting to be on in 15 minutes, but check this out. When you click easy apply, it'll ask you 1 or 2 questions. So in 20 seconds, you've completed the application. What comes over to the applicant tracking system is this. From your profile on LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, or Indeed.com, your name, your phone number, your email, your city and state, and your resume. So when we pull up your application in the system from an easy apply application, what do you think we pull up? The same resume. We don't look at that information. We can capture the data later. Why do we want you to do easy apply? Because I get your resume faster and you don't have to spend all of that time filling out the application if I'm not going to call you. If that's a surprise to you, type in the chat. OMGGG. OMGGG. I did not know that. Yes, that's what happens. That's why I tell people, stop filling out that long application. What you doing? Why are you spending 40 minutes? Why are you spending 3 hours a day doing 3 applications? Should you do both? Why should you do both when the only thing I'm trying to do is get your resume? Why? You can do both if you want to. If you got 40 minutes per application to spend, that's fine. I don't recommend it. I tell people, don't do that. That's crazy. Because all we're trying to do is get your application in the system. Now, what happens if you easy apply and we do select you? I send you a link to complete the rest of the application. But you already know you're hired now. Now it's worth your time to do it. You finish the rest of the application. We get you through your background check and drug test. We move you over in the HRS system as hired. That gets your onboarding squared away, I-9 docs and all W-4 and all that good stuff. Then we can get you onboarded and hired. But don't waste your time filling out that long application in the beginning when all we're trying to do is get your resume. So whenever I work for a company and they are using the long application, I tell them, nobody's going to apply to your jobs. You're making them invest 40 minutes to fill out this information, and they don't even know if your hiring manager is going to call them. That's a waste of time. The average person, the drop-off time from a person doing the long application is 12 minutes. Application fatigue sets in at 12 minutes. You stop doing it because you're like, that's too much. I don't even know if anybody's going to call me. If that's the truth, say amen. I'm not filling out this whole application. I don't know if anybody's going to call me. Amen. Type in it. Amen. I'm not doing it. So you don't fill out long form applications. Let me stop for a second because I only got a few minutes left. Yep, I'll tell you one last thing, and then I'm going to answer your questions so you can start asking questions. Let me tell you another reason why you want to apply to that many jobs. Let me show you something. You got to see this. It's going to blow your mind. If you apply to a job and you're the first person to apply to the job, let's say 8 o'clock in the morning, recruiters don't start looking at resumes at 8 o'clock. We don't start looking at resumes till about 1. Your resume is the first one at 8 o'clock. Let's say 200 people come into the applicant tracking system after you. Your resume goes to the bottom. When we start looking at resumes, we don't start from the bottom or the first application we received. We start from the last application we received. Don't get mad at me. So you may never get seen. So if you're only applying to 3 to 5 jobs a week, you're never going to get seen. Nobody's going to see you. Did you know that happened? Did you know that's how we did it? So you might be the best candidate, perfect candidate, and we never, ever, ever called you because you were buried under everybody else. So how do you control that? You got to apply in volume. It takes 10 minutes to apply to 30 jobs or 35 jobs on LinkedIn. 10 minutes. If you did the same thing on Indeed and ZipRecruiter, another 10 minutes each, it would take you 30 to 35 minutes to put in, to market yourself to 90 to 105 companies a day. It takes 30 minutes. 630 to 700 applications a week for jobs that perfectly match what you want to do, paying what you want to pay, what you want to make. That's 2,500 to 28 applications in a month. That's the unlock. It's not best to apply to the company's website. We make you do the long application when the only thing we really want from you is your resume. It's not best. I believe in efficient hiring. So every application is an easy application, even if it's a C-level executive. It's on LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, and Indeed.com. All right, if you have any questions, leave it in the chat. I have to go in just a few minutes to a meeting. All right. If you have a question, leave it in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer for you. If you want me to review your resume for free, I will review your resume for free. I will do 100 resumes today only. 100. Once I get 100 people, then I cannot do any more for today. I have to then move it on to the next day. So email me a copy of your resume if you want me to review your resume for resume health to see if it's something that a hiring manager will respond to. All right. Let's go to your questions. Minimum time frame for each job. I don't understand what the question is. Ask me again. I ain't apologizing. CW says, thank you for your help. Can you review? Yes. Email my resume. Thank you, sir. Should I tailor my resume to each job I'm applying to? No. I tell people you don't tailor your job because we don't care about that. We only care about the function of the work you've done. So I'm going to just give you a simple example because I think it's easy to understand. I'm a recruiter and I have recruited as a director, as a C-level executive, as a VP, a senior manager, a national manager for many different companies. The only thing that hiring managers care about when it comes to me, no matter what the position is, can you recruit? And if I can recruit, the second thing is, can you teach a team to recruit? And the third thing is, can you get the outcome that we want? The answer to that question for me is yes on all three fronts, right? So it doesn't matter if it's technology, executive recruiting, call center recruiting, logistics recruiting. It doesn't matter what the recruiting is. Can you recruit? That's all they care about. That's why you don't tailor. All right. Okay. I had a recruiter tell me the hiring manager is going to have a problem with my length of job. We don't care about that. So now I'll tell you, we do care about it to an extent. So if a person has been working on a job and my base standard, and this is what I tell hiring managers, no more than 2 jobs in the last 5 years is acceptable, right? 2.5 years on a job, it's time for you to either move up, get promoted, or move on. But that's what we call stability nowadays. If you've been on the job for 2.5 years or more, that's stability. So be careful if you had 5 jobs in the last year. There is a way to mitigate that. Just reach out to me. We can help you with your resume. But you don't want to be listing 5 and 6 jobs. If you're at a job, general a rule of thumb, it's better to have a gap of 3 months in your resume than it is to have 5 jobs that you only work for 3 months each, right? It's better to do it that way. So we can help you mitigate that. If you want help, send me a copy of a resume for a free review or DM me. If you're interested in the Fast Track program, you want to know more about it, Daniel, you keep talking about this Fast Track program. I will personally help you get written job offers in less than 30 days on the Fast Track program. I will do that. The next Fast Track starts Monday, this coming Monday. I'm only taking a couple more people. I'll be more than happy to um, to work with you if you're interested. So you DM me the word Fast Track or you email me the word Fast Track, and I'll send you the information. Let me see here. I could take another. If you want to email me afterwards, I can take another like 60 people. If you want to email me a copy of your resume, I'll take a look at it. In the meantime, I have to go and get ready for my meeting. Thank you guys so much for joining, and I'll talk to you soon.